All right, guys. That down. Let's move on to this, shall we? The world of Star Trek, the last bunch of years has been a mixed bag, right? You've had certain things that have been, I personally think, incredible, like Strange New Worlds. I love that show. You get some things that have been kind of iffy and whatever. But, one of the things and one of the characters that I have really liked in this new kind of Star Trek world is the character of Philippa Georgiou, played by Academy Award winner Michelle Yeoh. And the extension mirror universe version of her, Emperor Georgiou. I really like the character. So when they announced that they were going to be doing Star Trek Section 31 with Michelle Yeoh, I thought, all right, okay, great. I take advantage of her Oscar win. How bad can it be? One of my favorite actresses to be in this show. Then the trailer dropped somewhere around Comic-Con. I think that's when they dropped the trailer for it. I was like, that looks like something. I didn't love it, but I told myself, hey, I didn't like the trailers for Harley Quinn and a lot of other things either, and it turned out to be okay. Well, the first reviews for Star Trek Section 31 are now out, and ladies and gentlemen, they are not good. The folks over at Engadget wrote Star Trek Section 31 review, an embarrassment from start to end. It's unwatchably bad.
I must watch it now.
They write, get enough Star Trek fans in a room and the conversation inevitably turns towards which of the series' cinematic outings is the worst. The consensus view is The Final Frontier, Insurrection, and Nemesis are ducking it out for the unwanted trophy. Each film has a small legion of fans who will defend each entry's campy excesses, boldness, and tone. I'm partial to watching The Final Frontier every 5 years or so mostly to luxuriate the Jerry Goldsmith score. Thankfully, any and all such discussions will cease once and for all on January 24th when Star Trek Section 31 debuts on Paramount Plus. It is the single worst thing to carry the Star Trek name in living memory. Right. And it ain't just them. Oh no. If we go over and just do a quick little Google search of Star Trek Section 31 reviews, Star Trek Section 31 review, blandly going where no one should go. Of course, the Engadget one. Slash Film kind of liked it, but even there was like Star Trek Section 31 review. This Discovery spin-off film is a B-movie trash in a good way. Really? Star Trek Section 31 review, a disappointing Star Trek tale. Star Trek Section 31 isn't classic Trek, but the Paramount Plus executives offer some flashy fun. All right, now The Verge liked it. They said Star Trek Section 31 is firing on all cylinders. All right.
Who is that?
I'm not sure.
Who wrote that?
Hollywood Reporter said, Star Trek Section 31 review, not even Michelle Yeoh can save Paramount Plus's subpar spinoff movie. I love the New York Times article. Best. Star Trek Section 31 review, set phasers to shun.
That's great.
But it goes on.
Oh.
Empire writes Star Trek Section 31 review, a bland comedy space capade.
Yeah.
Star Trek Section 31, set your expectations on stunned, but not in a good way. Oh my God. Section 31, the single worst Star Trek thing ever. Star Trek Section 31, a disappointing Star Trek tale. Anyway, it goes on. Not good. And here's the thing, Rob and I were talking before the show started, because here's the thing that's most interesting to me. There are going to be some people that will want to jump to, because this happens all the time, saying, well, these are just people who hate Star Trek. And these are just people who, just automatically hate Star Trek. No, I did some cross-referencing. Most of these outlets and many of these specific writers love Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Gush about it. Lest you forget, for right or for wrong, for fair or unfair, for whatever reason, Star Trek Strange New Worlds is the highest critically rated Star Trek series ever in history. So this isn't just like a group of people that just hate Star Trek. These are people who are open-minded to it. And they saw this and said, this is gutter trash. And it looks like, Rob, and listen, I have not seen it myself. I'm not going to watch it until tomorrow when it drops. I cannot myself say that I know that the movie sucks because I haven't seen it yet. But it seems like the general consensus is that this is really quite bad. And, I read one article that kind of suggested that they just decided to get moving on it a little sooner than they were ready because
The script was written.
Yeah, because they wanted to take advantage, and I get this. They want to take advantage of the momentum of Michelle Yeoh's Oscar win. I get that, but like we say in the show all the time, characters are there to serve the story. You don't rush a story just so you can take advantage of an actor's popularity at the moment. And this is the result you get, apparently. Anyway, Rob, I'm not going to bother asking you if you're surprised to hear these reactions, because clearly you're not. But what do you think about what we're hearing? Guys, we want to thank a sponsor of today's video, BetterHelp. You know, every January is like a blank slate, 365 pages waiting for you to fill them in. Perhaps it's time to rewrite a chapter that's been holding you back. Life isn't about resolutions that fade. It's about becoming the author of your own life story. And in writing that story, therapy can be your trusted editorial partner, helping you craft meaningful chapters, build resilience, and empower you to live the life that you've always envisioned. Therapy can help you learn positive coping skills, set boundaries, and become your best self. And that's where BetterHelp comes in. BetterHelp offers fully online therapy, making it affordable and convenient. With over 30,000 licensed therapists specializing in diverse needs, you can find somebody who truly understands your story. You can even switch therapists anytime at no extra cost. You know, I often hear from some of our viewers who talk about having some real struggles and challenges over the last couple of years. Well, listen, we commit ourselves to getting more physically strong and healthy by going to the gym. It's time for us to commit to getting more mentally and emotionally strong by getting involved in therapy. So write your story with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/Campea today and get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/Campea.
Before I say anything, I would just want to ask permission to address this particular subject matter in this room. I just want to make sure, because you've forbidden me on numbers of occasions.
That's why, when it was off topic, but I mean, this is the Star Trek topic that I wanted to make sure we had today.
I was telling Rob, you haven't been here in 6 months, and we haven't covered so much as one Star Trek.
Thing is Star Trek,
and you come back for the second day in Star Trek.
First of all, let me just say, I won't go off. I'm saving this explosion for later. But one of the things that has always perplexed me about modern Star Trek is how so many concepts that were introduced in the show have been misunderstood by the writers of modern Star Trek. And I don't think anyone has been more misunderstood than Section 31. Section 31 was introduced in a latter season Deep Space Nine episode called Inquisition. And William Sadler, played Sloan. It was Section 31 was one guy. And like he would show up and give Julian Bashir a mission and then disappear. So you never knew what was going on. You didn't. In Discovery, Section 31 had a base. It had literally membership cards. It had special Delta shields on their clothing. You knew they had headquarters and ships. And when there was somebody from Section 31, people were like, look, there goes somebody from Section 31 walking by. They ruined they decided Section 31 was like the FBI, probably because someone thought they wanted to do a series, which they do. This is kind of their retconned. I think it was the first 2 pilot episode scripts that they mashed together into a movie. Everything about this shows just how brain dead the people that currently control Star Trek actually are. And now that's as far as I'm going to go. The fact that Paramount has allowed this franchise to be so mismanaged since 2017 says to me everything. You know what, John? This is a perfect encapsulation of everything wrong with the modern age. Everything wrong with the 21st century is encapsulated, I would imagine, in these 90 minutes that I haven't seen yet. But I felt that way when I saw the trailer. And I love Michelle Yeoh as a Bond girl. She's amazing. I mean, she's worked with Jackie Chan. She's incredible. And the fact that they've done this to her after she won an Oscar, it's inexcusable. Inexcusable.
And didn't they pick up on maybe it was a different organization, but I remember Star Trek Enterprise.
Yeah, Section 31 was in.
They kind of expanded that, the whole idea of Section 31
which I didn't even like it in Enterprise, but it's not egregious. I didn't either, really. It's not egregious. But it's not Mission Impossible. It's not Guardians of the Galaxy. I guess it is now. Because that's all these writers know how to do. It's like, if they're not writing something like Joss Whedon, then they're just ripping off stuff from everybody else. There's no originality here. They could have done something really original. And they don't even address, apparently, the fact that she's a cannibal Hitler from a mirror universe. And they've turned her into like...
She's reformed, Rob.
Wisecracking bad bitch. Oh, dude. You know, I don't know. I think I would rather have my fingers and toes. I'd love to have my nails removed individually with somebody with a pair of rusty pliers, then watch this tomorrow night. But I'm going to have to watch this tomorrow night.
It's going to pair nicely with Severance.
No, you don't have to watch it. Well, you have to give it a shot.
I do.
But then once you decide, if you decide,
10 of my favorite tequila.
There you go.
But if you decide you don't like it, you should do what I do and tap out.
I can't. I can't.
I can't quit you.
Stuff.
I have to be, you know what? If I ever needed something to feel better about myself and my opinions and ideas, it's going to be this show. I think for the rest of my life, if I'm feeling down, I can say, you know what? My life might be terrible, but at least I wasn't involved in any way, shape, or form with the making of Star Trek Section 31.
This could be the Craven of
Those will be his dying
Star
words.
Trek universe. You know, and again,
On my tombstone, it's going to say, "Here lies Robert Meyer Burnett. He had nothing to do with
Star
Section
Trek
31."
Section 31. The disappointing thing to me, besides the fact that I really like the character, because, you know, Discovery, to me, had its good moments, had its bad moments, had its decent seasons, had its horrible seasons. But Philippa Georgiou was a character I really liked. And so there's disappointment there. The other disappointment hearing this, and again, I may watch it and like it, but it doesn't sound like I will. The other disappointment is this is the first live action series they're following up Strange New Worlds with. And like, again, not everybody agrees, but I loved that show. And I was really kind of hoping that momentum would carry over into this. But again, the trailer just looked, it didn't, you know, Rob, you'll often say that some of the modern Star Trek doesn't even look or feel like Star Trek anymore. I will sometimes disagree with you on that. But this didn't look or feel anything like Star Trek. I think your analogy of Guardians of the Galaxy is that it felt more like I think you're right about that. It felt more like Guardians of the Galaxy than a Star Trek thing.
Because they don't know how to write Star Trek anymore. They don't know how to write. Nobody knows how to write an optimistic future. It's all got to be dystopian. It's all got to be this hipster, holier. I don't know what. They just, and watching this, it doesn't bode well for their new Starfleet Academy show either. I mean, if they told me that they were making a Star Trek Academy show like Dead Poets Society, you know, or something like that, where you had the main character was the professor, like in Dead Poets Society, that inspires his students, and I would be like, that's a Star Trek show I'd watch.
A mighty yop.
Yeah, again, so for now, I'm just going to wait for the next season of Strange New Worlds and kind of look forward to that. I'll check this one out, though, when it comes out. Guys, question is for you. What do you think about the reviews for Star Trek Section 31? I'm not totally surprised. I'm surprised how negative they are, but I'm not really surprised after seeing the trailers that it's negative. Anyway, whatever you guys think about it, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.